Sostak, and I'm from Inspire Citizens, located in Beijing, China. Talk a lot about some of the teaching pedagogies and strategies that are necessary to help all students around the world to work on global competence education, especially in ways that are going to help them to implement the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. Using the OECD Global Competence Framework to give you guys a way to think about how to link your curriculum to 4 specific strands that will eventually lead you to your children and your students and the teachers in the schools being able to work to contextualize and fully implement the UN Sustainable Development Goals in local communities and in global connections. On the right side of the OECD framework that you're going to be looking at mostly deals with what we call cultural competency, and the idea that students need to be able to understand and take perspectives and worldviews of others, as well as to be able to communicate cross-culturally, but also cross-generationally, across socioeconomic borders, across genders, and other inequalities. On the other side, you'll notice at the top is really what I would consider to be problem-based learning. Can students identify problems? Can students do needs analysis? Can students set missions and SMART goals? Eventually, with the goal in the bottom left-hand corner is the idea that finally they can take action for the well-being of themselves, communities, and for the sustainable development of the world. So as you dig in today, good luck, good thinking, and remember in the end, is it good for kids? Is it good for community? Is it good for the world? Thanks for everything you guys are doing, and please be in touch.
Hi, I'm Lucy.
And I'm Abby.
Today I'm going to walk Abby through how to pick a target card. So how to link an SDG goal to a target. So off we go. Here in this bag we have the 17 goals that the UN decided we need to accomplish by 2030 to make a more sustainable world for everyone. These goals mostly focus on nature, society, economy, and well-being. What we first need to do is identify a goal. So just remember, by helping one goal, you can help all the others. But you have to remember that by solving one goal, you might have a negative impact on another. So let's lay them out. Since it's only Abby doing this, we're just going to narrow it down to one goal that Abby feels our community can work on, or a goal she identifies with. But let's say you're doing it with more students, like a whole class. You're going to want to look at all the targets and all the goals. So, Abby, which goal does Beijing identify with, or which goal do you identify with?
I think Beijing identifies with sustainable cities and communities because I think like air quality, it's a big issue here, and that relates to climate action, and then like the city, there's so many people living here, so I think it needs to like become a better community.
Target cards are made because a goal can be a big goal. Like if we take sustainable cities and communities, that can include air quality, the amount of people there, the animal life, what the city could be doing to nature. It's big. So the target cards, what they do is narrow it down to one topic that goes under sustainable cities and communities. So now what we need to do is think, what target cards fit your environment? So let's see, which of these do you think Beijing really needs to work on?
I think I'm going to choose affordable and sustainable transport systems because, like, there are so many people living in Beijing, but so many people equals so many cars, which leads to bad air and people having to stay inside their homes. So, and the subway stations in Beijing are so big and they get you to so many places. But if from where I live here, then it takes me. I still have to take a car to the subway station. So it's not really changing anything because it's in the randomest place. So Beijing's also tried bikes, like bike sharing, where you scan something and you're able to take this bike for a certain amount of time and take it wherever you want. But after that, people haven't been taking care of their bikes and just dumped them in different places. And
I also think protect the world's cultural and natural heritage, because Beijing has so much cool heritage, but a lot of villages, let's say, they just want to adapt. They want to have the coolest technology. They want to have ACs. They want to have the best houses, but they're not protecting what their past, especially the hutongs. All the hutongs, they're such an important part of Chinese culture, but they're just disappearing. So now what you want to do is, with your students or even in a teacher workshop, is look at these targets and say, what different projects in my local community can I base around these? You might even want to interview people, integrate some science, math, design, just either to raise awareness or even to help the problem. For protect the world's cultural and natural heritage, you might want to go look at let's maybe look at how many hutongs are being knocked down to create more room for, let's say, offices or city. Or you might want to interview some experts in this topic, or maybe even people that are living in these hutongs. How do they feel about Chinese culture just being teared down? You could even study the history of hutongs, maybe why they matter, and just the history of Chinese culture based around hutongs.
Or you could take Target 11.2, affordable and sustainable transport systems, and think of collect data on how many people and how much the trains and bicycles and these things have been used, and collect data on how many cars and just what goes into the air quality. And you could even look at the costs, for cars and when they get petrol filled up, and the cost of the actual cars, compare it to getting a train somewhere or riding a bicycle.
Now it's your turn to choose a target and look deeper
and make a difference.
Right, we're Lucy and Abby, and we're Inspire Citizens interns. Go to inspirecitizens.org for more information.